right, so in this haircut, we are going to take the sides and back short, but leaving some length on the top to be able to give my model some versatility on if he wants to kind of brush it back or wear it messy. We're going to cut some texture up there as well. So, as you can see, I've got my clippers in my hand. I've got the very shortest guard that I can put on. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going through and cutting the lower half of the sides and back. So, using this guard to remove all of the hair as short as I can with this particular guard of the lower half of the sides and back. Once I've completed cutting the lower half of the sides and back with this guard, I will then go ahead and cut the upper half of the sides and back. And then, of course, we'll address the hairline as well. And then, of course, we'll address the top. Cut the top a little bit, give it some texture. And then we'll pretty much be wrapped up at that point. So, for now, just going through, removing all of this bulk. And then we will go on to the next step. All right, so now that we've cut the lower half of the sides and back, I'm going to cut the upper half of the sides and back just through my fingers. So as you can see, I'm just taking the hair as short as my fingers will let it go. Now, after I've completed cutting this hair through my fingers, I will do some scissor over comb just to make it flow a lot nicer. And then at that particular point, I will then go ahead and cut the top. All right, so now that I've gone through and cut the hair through my fingers, I'm going to go through and scissor over comb that blend much more smoother, much more fluid. So, as you can see, I've got my comb going through, scissor over combing the lower half of the sides and back with the upper half of the sides and back. So now that we've cut pretty much the sides and back as far as the desired length, it is now time to cut the top. So as you can see, I've got a section going from the crown all the way to the forehead. Now I'm combing that hair straight up, and I'm going to take sections, over directing to the previous section until I have completed cutting the top. So as you can see, I've got another section here, over directing it to that previous section, got another section here, over directing to the previous section, and I did that on the right side. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the left side, and I'm just going to cross-check it here by going the opposite way of how I cut the original top. So if you want to cross-check hair, you're just going to go the opposite way that you cut it. So as you can see right now, I'm working my way from the forehead to the crown, where the other way I was cutting from the crown to the forehead, taking sections the long way. Now I'm actually taking sections from ear to ear, right there. See, it's sideways. Okay, now, once I've completed cutting the top here, I'm going to then just cut the bangs. Now, my client's going to want to make sure that the bangs don't fall down in his face in the event he goes swimming or the wind blows. So we want to have a desired length of how these bangs should be. So not a whole lot to explain there other than just making sure that they're not going to come down on his face. As they start to grow out, they get heavy, and when they get heavy, they're going to fall down. I want his front to be able to be brushed back, not fall forward. So as you can see right here, I'm just going through, trimming up the bangs. We like to keep these a little bit on the shorter side. Again, he never wears them forward, but in the event it does fall forward, it's not going to fall in his eyes. Also, again, by keeping them shorter, it's going to give it less weight. They're going to be less heavy so that he can be able to dress his bangs up and back if he chooses to. Think about if the bangs are long, they're going to be heavy and they're going to be more inclined to fall on his forehead. We don't want that. We want his bangs to basically go off of his face. So we definitely not only want to keep them shorter, but we may even want to layer through them as well. Okay, now it's time to clean up the hairline. So you can see I've got my trimmers. I'm just going to go work my way from the right side of his face to behind the ear, to his neck, to the left side of his face. And then once we've cleaned up the hairline with our trimmers, we will then get our clippers to just fade out, blend out any line that these trimmers create. So trimmers are going to cut the hair shorter than clippers. These are trimmers in my hand. So once I establish cleaning all of the hairline, the neck hair with my trimmers, taking it as bald as these things will go, which is pretty bald, then I'll take my clippers and just blend out, fade out any of the lines that these trimmers may have caused. So like I mentioned, now I have the clippers, no longer the trimmers. I've got the clippers in my hand, and I'm just going to go through and fade out, kind of erase any line that the trimmers may cause. See, the trimmers really take the hair pretty bald. And so when they do that, it can leave a little bit of a line. And I don't really love seeing lines in my haircuts. So I will take my clippers at this point, and I'm just going to use that little lever until I can erase that line. So I'm going to go through, scoop out, basically scoop that line, move that little lever on your clippers until you find that the line is now erased. And I'm going to work my way all around the hairline. And then once I've got the hairline all erased as far as any lines are concerned, then we'll go ahead and style and dress the hair. So we've come to the end of another video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Hey, if you have any questions or comments, put them down in that comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I want to thank you so very much again for watching.